According to reports, U.S. intelligence officials are being pressured by the Trump administration to find some kind of evidence showing that Iran is in violation of the 2015 nuclear agreement that the country signed with 5 other countries, including the United States. The reports show that Trump desperately wants these intelligence officials to find somewhere, some instance in the last 2 years where Iran has not lived up to the terms set forward in this particular agreement. Here's the problem with that. There is absolutely no evidence whatsoever to show that Iran in any way has violated this agreement. And that's coming from European countries, that's coming from every available U.S. intelligence agency, that's coming from the military, and that's also coming from Iran itself as well as the United Nations. Nobody has found any instance where Iran has been less than fully compliant to the best of their abilities. But that hasn't stopped Donald Trump, according to a new report in The Guardian, from forcing his intelligence officials to waste their time to give him some kind of excuse to launch a new war in the Middle East. Because at the end of the day, that is what this is about. The Republican Party has long told us that Iran is one of the worst operators over there in the Middle East. Ronald Reagan did it in the 80s. George H.W. Bush hinted at it in the early 90s. W hinted at it in the early 2000s. John McCain absolutely wanted to go to war with Iran in 2008 while he was running for president. And Donald Trump is doing it today. And he's using the same tactics that George W. Bush used to push us into the Iraq War. During that run-up to Iraq, intelligence was manipulated to show somehow that Saddam Hussein was producing weapons of mass destruction, which we now know was completely false. To this day, not a single weapon of mass destruction has ever been found in Iraq. There was no evidence that they were attempting to make these weapons or that they were even close to being able to produce these weapons. And Donald Trump is trying to push the United States in that same direction today. The only hope here, and The Guardian points this out very well, is that intelligence agencies, other countries around the world, learned from those mistakes in Iraq. Because even at the time, there were some countries who believed us, who fell for it, who also had intelligence showing that Iraq was building WMDs. So there was this non-consensus, I guess, among the intelligence communities around the world about what Iraq was actually doing. And ultimately, they decided to go to war and prove to everybody in this country and around the globe that there were no WMDs. But this time, they know better. They have their own evidence that shows that Iran is not doing anything to violate that nuclear agreement at the moment. Does that mean it's always going to be that way? Absolutely not. We don't know how far we can trust them. We don't know if they're going to continue complying with this. If a new leader steps forward and says, I'm not going to agree with it, and then we will have to deal with that situation. But as it stands right now, Donald Trump has absolutely no grounds to be trying to find any evidence of Iran doing something wrong. But what we do know is that the media loves it every time Donald Trump bombs somebody, his approval rating jumps back up. So that could be a very good indicator as to why Trump is so desperate to find any excuse whatsoever to go lob a couple of bombs over to Iran. If you're thinking about subscribing to our channel, I strongly encourage you to do that. But if you're not thinking about subscribing, I would encourage you to start thinking about it, and then once you're thinking about it, actually go and do it. You can see the subscribe button right there on the screen, or if you're watching on a different platform, go to youtube.com/TheRingOfFire.